Alright, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Araceli. It's very nice to meet you. Today we're going to be talking about how therapy healed me. So if you're ready to start your healing journey, I suggest you stick around for this one. I've never understood why people have so much taboo over talking. Because that's what therapy literally is, just talking. I guess people are just so scared of their own thoughts that they neglect themselves, I just want to say, if you're thinking about starting therapy, I couldn't recommend it more because you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to overcome generational trauma, and at least you feel well with yourself. And it's going to be extremely lonely because when you're trying to overcome and not be like the rest, you're not going to fit in. I'm gonna attempt to share the pros and cons of my experience with therapy. But remember, this is my experience, so you guys have to be very careful and proceed with caution because you guys have to see what kind of counseling is best for you guys. Okay, to begin with, therapy is not a magic spell, right? It's not gonna go beepity boppity boo and change and fix all your problems. Therapy is just a tool that can help us understand ourselves and navigate our own trauma or just any situation you're going through, but it is not an escape to think or believe that someone is there to heal us. Number one, therapy can be hard to get into. When I began to try to find therapy, I was put on a waiting list for months. This was around COVID time, so I feel like maybe that made it worse, but I feel like it's always a good idea to just have it on the back burner in case you need it. Number two, the therapist might or might not be a good fit for you. It's a big step to learn to be vulnerable with a new person, and more if you actually want to, share all your personal details. So, I'm just suggesting to give it a chance and allow yourself to know that person and let them know you as well. But at the end of the day, understand that you have options and you can always change it. So, number three, it takes time. Correlating with that, you have to allow yourself a grace period of at least 6 months because they're not going to see you every other day, right? They're going to see you at least once a month. What I can say is to not give up, because wouldn't you feel so much better if you continue to attempt to find yourself in a better place than not have started at all or like to give up? Because you're probably going to feel bad if you give up. So choose the life you want. I want to say, like, growing up, we're brought up with such horrible trauma sometimes, right? And I want to say it's not your fault, but fortunately, it is our responsibility as adults to be purposeful and change. Like, the truth is that without those hardships, you wouldn't be who you are today. Sadly, that's the truth. Now with some pros, allow yourself to change. Right, there's a saying that goes like, don't try to change the environment, change from environment. So what does that mean? Basically, like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you don't choose to change, then nothing's going to change. You have to want it, and bad. Number two, educating yourself, self-regulation, coping mechanisms, self-esteem tools. All those things are things you can definitely work on with a therapist, and they are professionals, so they are going to help you navigate difficult emotions and help you understand yourself. And so in the future, you're able to regulate by yourself and hopefully learn new coping mechanisms. But number three, having a listening ear. In today's world, we're always rushing, doing things alone, being very independent. So it's comforting to know that there's a human being that's willing and able to listen to you and talk to you. Overall, I just think it's an excellent idea to work on being a better person, don't you think? Okay, so now I'm gonna try to tell you my story, how I began therapy. I'm gonna try to make this short and sweet. I was around 22 years old, COVID times, and my insurance only covered her for a few months. Then a few years went by, I think it was 2024, and I got a therapist at Calusa. And we're from different age groups, right? So I feel like maybe she found it hard to see where I was coming from. But to be clear, she did help in main points which I really needed at the time. So I feel like every therapist that I've had have helped me in that etapa de mi vida, ¿saben? So now it's 2025. I am now living back in Sacramento, and I allowed myself to get a male therapist. And at first I was skeptical, I'm not gonna lie. But as sessions went on, I actually did feel very comfortable, and he's very professional. He's very validating, and I appreciate that the most because he's able to be there for me without agreeing or judging my decisions. I know it's easier said than done, and again, there's only so much someone else can provide for you. So I highly suggest that you educate yourself And honestly, for me, that was the most effective way that I began to take care of myself. Because no matter what anybody says, if you don't want it badly and you don't look for ways in which you want to feel better, nothing's going to change. And you're going to keep repeating the same cycles. So as you can see, I'm showing you guys the different types of notebooks that I've used over the years. But I began just with like a simple lined journal. And what I would do is, yes, write down all the trauma dumps, but also just like things of how my day was going. But then I realized that I wanted to create a more organized and positive environment around my journals. So what I did was use affirmations like I am statement of how I wanted my life to look like. And then I would incorporate meditation and visualization with it. So there's a lot more that goes on with this, right? Like I use journals for art, for scrapbooking, for gym workouts, for nutrition, for YouTube organization. So you can do whatever you want with your journals. But regarding the manifestations and affirmations, you have to be extremely consistent with it so that your brain can start believing in those things, because your brain will believe what you tell it. That's why a lot of times you have fears and all this stuff is because you're believing your brain with those thoughts. So whatever you believe in is what you're building your life to be. So just make sure you're talking to yourself like somebody you love, right? You're not going to look at your younger self and bash them. So why are you doing it now as an adult? Because when you grow up, you're going to look back at yourself and tell yourself, I should have care of yourself the way you would take care of your younger self. And I want to be clear that all this is not gonna cure you, not gonna fix everything. It's like this is a life process thing. And if you're like, then what's the point? Why should I do it? Because you're going to be with yourself for a long time, your whole life. So might as well get along with yourself. That's the main point. All I'm trying to do here is to be a support for those that are going through a difficult time in their life. And if this can be a guide, then shall be it. We have reached the end of this video. I do believe I have a couple more videos from this series coming out, but after that I'm going to take a little break and then I'll come back with my regular schedule programming of posting every 2 days, but we'll see. But once again, you are a real one for sticking through the end, and if you're listening to this, go ahead and comment your favorite emoji and I will reply back with mine. But yeah, until next time, much love, take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!